Well. The disappointment from Sydney 2015 and the dejection, the nightmare from 2019 has finally come to an end at the Wankhede, and India has made it to the 2023 ODI World Cup final. First of all, congratulations to all the Indians, and what a victory it was. I have with me Shivam, Purval, and Pranshu to join and discuss what happened at the Wankhede. We had our moments after India scored 397, 50th 100 by Virat Kohli, a brilliant 100 by Shreyas Iyer, 80 by Shubman Gill, and in the end, the magic of Shami was enough to put India into the big final on Sunday. Starting with you, Shivam. First of all, congratulations. Happy Bhai Dooj. Were you nervous at a couple of points? I think we were discussing when Daryl Mitchell was going all guns blazing. I thought we might just lose this.
I had completely lost it. I had lost my wits when Shami dropped Williamson. I was like, भाई गई भैंस पानी में फिर वही चीज वो and the commentators also again and again saying the same thing that bad 30 minutes that bad 30 minutes right in 2019 it was a bad 30 minutes with the bat and today it was like bad 30 minutes in the field. So, but great show of character from India to just hang in there, right? They were at one point, when Jadeja overthrew and it went for four, Shami dropped the catch. At that time, they were looking very desperate and they were looking, sort of very jittery. It's not happening, it's not happening. But after the drinks break, right? They sort of collected themselves, remained calm, and slowly and steadily the run rate kept on rising. Right, 8 for 9 for 10. Eventually, it went to 13, 14. Right, but I think Shami absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. First you drop the catch, then you come back and to bowl and just go bang bang. That was the critical over, right? I mean, when he got Williamson and Tom Latham. Otherwise, it would have been tough, right? The way Mitchell was batting, way Williamson was playing, and they had hitters to come. Phillips, Chapman, Sandner. So they could have easily played that, played out the chase like Mitchell is going to hold on one end till the end of the innings, and others will keep coming and keep hitting. But excellent show of character. Finally, we get that test right. Yes, during the league stage, the match against England was the batting was tough. The match against New Zealand was quite close, but this was the uh, real test that we require. Don't go by the margin of the victory, 80 runs, 85 runs, but till the 40th over, it was anybody's game. But absolute great show of character by India.
I'm gonna get Pranshu in. So before the toss, obviously there's chatter around pitch change, pitch 6, pitch 7, fresh pitch, old pitch, all that BS. And then thankfully Rohit Sharma won the toss. Everyone knew that once you could put a good total on board, the first 15 overs while chasing is always difficult. India put up 397 thanks to a brilliant 100 by Kohli and Shreyas Iyer. This is the highest innings total in a knockout match in a World Cup. How did you see the game at halfway mark? Did you think that New Zealand had any chance in the game, considering how good our bowling performance has been?
No, once we scored 400 runs, once we put that kind of runs on the Wankhede pitch, which is pretty flat, you would say. I think it's one of the flattest pitches we had in the World Cup. But once it was above and near to 400 runs, I didn't think with the bowling lineup we have and the form all the bowlers were in, New Zealand had a chance to upset us because it's just too much of runs and even if you have a partnership, it's just one wicket. Like we saw today, there was a very good partnership between Williamson and Mitchell. But I knew as soon as one wicket is down, the pressure of the run chase, the pressure of 400 runs is just too much, and you need to bat excellent for 50 overs and just keep scoring boundaries. Because I saw the match, I literally saw the whole match of New Zealand versus Australia, with New Zealand were chasing 383 and they were going on all guns blazing. But I always thought, and I always saw that even despite of them scoring so many boundaries throughout the match, they still had to score 110 runs in the last 10 overs with few wickets in hand, because obviously when you are hitting so much of boundaries and you're taking so much of risk, you bound to lose at least half of a side by 48 overs. So and they still lost by 13, 14 runs. So I never thought New Zealand had a chance of winning this match. It would have required. I was seeing when Mitchell scored a century. I saw that he scored a century. Okay, he scored a slower century than Iyer, and they required another ton like Kohli did. And that since Williamson got out in mid like 60s or 70s, then I thought this ton is not coming. So they would fall short. I knew that.
Modi bhai, so India's innings, it's a perfect template which they've been following. Do not underestimate Rohit's innings. He sets up the pace, 8 over 70 odd runs. As soon as he gets out, Shubman Gill picks up the pace. He's retired hurt for a bit because of cramps. And then Kohli continues to go at one end, bats throughout the innings. Shreyas Iyer, and then in the end, Rahul coming in and scoring so many runs. This is the perfect batting template. We've not had any hiccups apart from that Australia game. Do you think we are good enough to go all the way now?
100%. I was little bit concerned initially where a lower middle order Jadeja or Hardik Pandya, Shardul Thakur or Surya Kumar Yadav in that case did not get an opportunity. But during one of the New Zealand match, Jadeja played fabulously. He made sure that India wins the match. And even against England, they scored 230 in that innings. Also, you see Surya Kumar Yadav came pretty much handy. So the one thing or the one change which I see from 2019 World Cup was the lower and the middle order was tested. There were no no positions or no batsmen who did not get an opportunity to bat, or no bowlers who were there who did not get opportunity to bowl. So we were tested in all the all the possible ways which was possible, all the departments. Yes, perfect template. Let's not undermine Rohit Sharma's start and Shubman Gill's 80. They were all equally important. And what a wonderful occasion where Virat Kohli getting the 5,800 in front of Sachin in his home ground, a memorable thing. Iyer, his home ground, coming and doing bang bang hitting and taking, and of course I was pretty much disappointed when 6 or 7 overs were left and Rahul was sent. Me and Pranchu, we were sitting in office cafeteria and we were discussing that Surya Kumar Yadav ko yaar bhejna chahiye tha, he was perfect. But no, Rahul did his part. Rahul played an inning. He did wonderful ending to this 398. And I would say Jadeja was again brilliant in his fielding. Shami and Kuldeep and Jadeja bowled really well. Batting lineup was wonderful. So it was completely a team effort game, and everybody contributed to it. So wonderful innings, and we should not change the team for the finals, and we should go with the same template in Ahmedabad as well.
Shivam, how ironical it is. Shami, by the way, has been named the player of the match. How ironical it is that we've stumbled upon him because of an injury to Hardik Pandya. How have we played? I'm forgetting his name. That's how bad I think we have been.
Shardul Thakur.
Shardul Thakur.
Exactly. We've been playing him and we would have missed out on one of the great performances of the World Cup. He's now the highest wicket taker for India, and he's probably joint highest for this World Cup edition. He's what, on 21, 22 already?
He has surpassed Zampa now by one wicket.
Okay, how good he was. He's picked up all the top 5 batsmen and in the end got a couple of tail-end wickets as well.
Now looking back to it, it looks like the Hardik Pandya injury was a stroke of luck, and a stroke of luck, because Hardik Pandya and Shardul Thakur were playing in tandem, and Surya Kumar Yadav was out, and since Hardik got injured and couldn't play, so basically even Shardul got out, and they incorporated Surya and Shami. And this team, which is was a B team, you would say that this is not the A team. The A team was the Shardul or the Hardik team. But this B team is looking finer and more potent than the A team. and it's a stroke of luck, I would say. Nobody thought this would be, because Shami had no chance of playing in that Shardul Hardik combo.
Yeah. So, Sanjay ji, see, I'll be honest, I have a slightly different opinion. See, even when we did the preview to the World Cup, right, I was very clear, very vocal that Shami is your frontline bowler, right? Your three pacers are Bumrah, Siraj, and Shami. There's no chance Shami will not play, right? Now, the case of Shardul Thakur was that yes, you need with Shardul playing, you have a slightly shorter tail, right? With he coming at number 8, तो थोड़ा सा आपका tail enders को protection मिल जाएगा. But I was very very clear that if on a given day your top 7 cannot do the job, then you cannot expect the 8th batsman to do the job. Right. If your top 7 cannot deliver, don't expect Shardul Thakur to deliver. And even if he does, right, if even if he scores that 15, 20, 30 crucial runs, he would have given more than that in his bowling, with all due respect. Right. Having said that, I don't think we should say that, yes, Hardik Pandya being not being there opened the door for Shami. Yeah, theek hai. I mean, that was management's call. But I would still say that my perfect team would have been Hardik instead of Surya. I would still say Hardik instead of Surya would be the perfect team for me. Everything remains same. Shami plays instead of Shardul and Ashwin, but Hardik would have played ahead of Sky, just with that extra 6 bowling option. Even today we saw, right, when Mitchell was going all guns blazing, Rohit was getting fidgety, right? He was very reluctant to get back Kuldeep Yadav. He was waiting for Mitchell to get out, right? And that's the conundrum you have. And even in the last match, right, against Netherlands, वो fun के लिए थोड़ी पहले चीकू आया, फिर रोहित शर्मा आया, फिर शुभमन गिल आया, फिर श्रेयस आया. There was logic behind it. That if by chance required in semi-final, final, we might need a 6 bowling option. So for me, the perfect team would be this team minus Surya plus Hardik Pandya. Yes, Surya played a great innings in against England, but that would have been the perfect team for me. And with Shami, right, it's very important you listen to his interviews, right? We praise Bumrah a lot. One ball he'll bowl a slower ball, then a slower bouncer, then full ball, then Yorker, etc., etc., etc. With Shami, it's absolutely clear. Perfect wrist position, perfect release, pitch the ball up and let the pitch and let the ball do the talking, right? He's an absolute delight of a pure fast bowler, right? Just pitch the ball up and let the pitch and conditions take care of themselves. Absolute gem of a bowler. Really, really happy for him. Imagine with I think he's played 4 games less than Zampa, and he's still at the top of the table. Imagine if he would have been playing since the beginning. I think he would have easily been touching 32 wickets. And just one more point, Sanjay, we were talking about New Zealand's innings, and that day, right, when Maxi played that blinder and won an almost lost match against Afghanistan. I think today's match and that match, it was pretty clear. You made a very important point that more than Maxi winning the game, it was Afghanistan losing the game. Right, similar today, right? Even Mitchell was playing something of a similar innings, right? But the pure class of bowling and fielding that India had, it sort of that really came out. Otherwise, at Wankhede, due or no due, the pitch is like that, as Pranshu mentioned, right? It's a very very flat pitch. Even 400 is not enough. Right? Who knows? Mitchell could have played a blinder like Maxwell, but the professionalism of our bowlers, Shami going bang bang and not losing the morale. Right? He was very very disheartened. Of course, anybody would be when you drop a catch, but to come back, break that crucial stand, and then again in the third spell come back and finish at the tail. Absolute professionalism from Shami.
Raju, 179 run partnership between Williamson and Mitchell. At that point, 32 overs, they need 10 and over from pretty much after 27th, and they were going at that pace. And visibly, the crowd, the Indian team, they looked fidgety. There were misfields happening. There's one overthrow from Jadeja, which I personally thought that he's lost his mind probably, that went for 4 through the keeper. I think they were losing their plans because this was the first time they've been put under any pressure. How crucial, at that point was for Shami to get that wicket and then pretty much break the back of their batting. Pranshu?
Oh, okay. So I saw it. I was seeing the match, and when they were going, the partnership was obviously blooming, and Williamson is playing is steady. He plays more like what Kohli's role is in the Indian team is. And obviously Mitchell was doing his job. I think they required 200 runs. I think they lost 200 runs in that match.
I think we lost
I
Pranshu.
guess, yeah.
Yeah, Purval.
So, Sanjay, just to continue that part, definitely it gave me jitters. If you see the group chat also, our group chat, there were people who were scared. They were all, including me, we all were afraid that New Zealand is going to repeat the 2019 semi-final. Correct, because New Zealand is a class apart team, and especially Kane Williamson and Ferguson coming in, they had always had an edge. And the way they played in Bangalore, how they scored 400 runs, of course,
Have we
that
lost Purva?
I think it's
the,
your line, Pranshu. I think Purval, we can hear. We lost
Ah,
you.
okay, 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 okay.
so
Continue.
New Zealand is really, really New Zealand was performing really well, and they were top of the table at one point of time. So they are team, they can make a comeback from any point of time, and thanks to Shami for breaking that particular partnership. Otherwise, probably it would be a New Zealand's game today.
And do you think Shivam Shami had a point to prove after he was dropped for that semi-final 2019?
Yeah, I mean, I think not a point to prove. I think he's very, very secure in his space. But yeah, I mean, it was illogical from our side to not play him in the first few matches. But just a couple of more important points, Dubeji. I think Rohit was absolutely fantastic today as a captain. Yes, as a batsman, he has been tremendous setting up the template. We mentioned it multiple times, right? He does the hard job, right? Giving us the start and then builds the base for your Kohlis and Shreyas Iyer and Rahul. But I think he was absolutely tremendous in the field, right? During that innings, right, when Mitchell was going all guns blazing, we got 3 wickets back to back, all 3 catch outs, and all 3 were taken by Jadeja in all 3 different fielding positions. It was not that the batsman was hitting it to deep mid on only, and he was there at deep mid on, right, and catching the ball. One catch he took at long off, one catch he took at deep square leg, one catch he took at deep mid wicket. So that is the captaincy, right? How I mean, getting your right fielders at the right place. These are the things that matter. A couple of more points. I think KL Rahul was absolutely fantastic behind the wickets. One point we were saying that he's your part-time keeper. Maybe at this form, what we see in the World Cup, I think he's a better keeper than most of the other pure keeping options that we have. Brilliant, very tactical. I think there was one option, one ball where the batsman had gloved the ball and then it hit the pad. Right, Jadeja was saying to take the DRS. Rahul was blinded. He did not see the ball hitting the glove, right? But still, he clearly said that nahi, haath laga hai. So absolutely fantastic from Rahul. And just last point, Kohli finally coming good in ICC knockouts. I think prior to this game, his record was really bad in ICC knockouts, quarterfinals, semi-final, finals. But this century changes everything.
Yeah, I mean, I hate Cricinfo to bring that up just a few hours before the match that his record has been abysmal. So I think he scored more runs today than the last 3 knockouts. So Pranshu, looking forward to the opposition for India. Big match at Kolkata tomorrow, South Africa, Australia. Is there a preference from India whom they want to play? I would say South Africa.
So, I want India to play South Africa because, like I said, I don't trust the Aussies. It would be better. I think it would be easier final for us if we play South Africa rather than Australia. And I think World Cup. There have been so iconic encounters in the World Cup. One being the 1999 semi-finals of Australia versus South Africa, where the Klusner episode happened, and South Africa just ran out of luck during that match. I think they deserve to win maybe, and should be having a little bit more luck than they had during that time, because they have been the most unluckiest team. I feel. I think they deserve to at least be in the final.
Absolutely.
and
Purul,
and
what do
and,
you
and
think?
supposedly when you just go through this match, when you go through the World Cups, in a knockout stage, apart from the cricketing skills, the thing called which we call luck is so much important for you to get through. Because of what I remember now is that 2019, when we lost to New Zealand, it was a 2-day match, and we would have definitely won that match if it would have been a 1-day match. But it transpired to 2 days, and that gave the advantage to New Zealand. So, which is out of our control. So uncontrollables decide so much of things. And today, when you saw there was no dew, it would have been harder for us to and easier for New Zealand to chase if there would have been the normal dew which in India has during this time. We had no dew today. So when I saw there was no dew, I knew that India would win. God is with us.
Absolutely. The dew gods, the toss gods, all are with us. Purul, a word on New Zealand's campaign. They could have made 3 World Cup finals in a row. And considering what happened in in London in 2019, that whole boundary count, etc., you would feel a bit sorry for probably this generation of players, the likes of Williamson, Saudi, Bolt. Most of these guys are not going to come back for another shot at the World Cup. So a word
I,
on their campaign.
I
So,
they that was that wonderful opportunity in the 2019 World Cup. And yeah, so yeah, a lot of these great players from the New Zealand setup, they would not win a World Cup, and that happens with a lot of players. But yeah, I think their chance was the last World Cup, where again luck was not on their side, and that crazy boundary where the ball hit Ben Stokes' bat and just edged, and otherwise that match was gone for England for most of the time. But yeah, like it said that yeah. So yeah, it would be unfortunate, I guess, to Williamson not winning the World Cup.
Yeah, Purul, although I'm not disappointed, like these nice guys, every time they come and beat us, for once I'm happy that one, it's not a super close game and we've beaten the beef out of them.
see, Sanjay, South Africa and New Zealand, always they are the good gentlemen of the game. But of course, we have sympathy with them, but of course, we cannot share the cup with them. Sorry for that.
Hey, absolutely no sympathy. Pack your bags, go home. Champion, they won the WTC final. That's enough for them. जीत गए एक
Yeah,
ट्रॉफी बहुत हो
exactly.
गया और नहीं जीता.
I think yeah. So what do you want in the finals? The next match for tomorrow, this other semi-finals. Like, what are your
South
views on it?
Africa.
I
South Africa, I
Like
want
from a
because,
cricketing point of
again,
view, that's
no,
from
no,
being an Indian. Like,
yeah.
what from a cricketing point of view, what looks good? What would you want?
Comparatively, I would like South Africa because, if you see the matches, how South Africa has played, being always told, they've been always told that they are not that good against the spinning tracks. They have proved themselves very well in India and again in the subcontinent, and especially players like De Kock, Miller, you have your Klassen, Makaram, they all play IPL. They know the pitches, Indian pitches, and how to play. Even their bowling lineup, you see Engedi, Nokia, then your Rabada, all of them, they play the IPL. So they know the pitches and the Indian conditions very well. They finished above Australia in the table. So I would like to prefer to go with a better team. Australia has enough in their plates. They are they have won the IPL, they have won the T20, they have won the World Cups, they have won the Test Championships. So I would go with South Africa. It's better to give somebody else an opportunity.
Yeah, yeah.
Shivam, I personally wouldn't mind beating Australia if we are to win this. It'd be a great final. But South Africa haven't played a final, so I mean, potentially you could think that they're a weaker team, especially they're chasing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think Australia has it in their DNA. They know how to win the crunch game, right? They know what to do in the crunch moments. The way they are led by, earlier Stewart, then Ponting, then Clark, and now Cummings, right? And there's some great character shown by that team. They lost 2 matches to begin their campaign, and then won 7 matches on the trot, right? So that shows the champion DNA. So I'll be wary of Australia in the finals. Of course, you need to play well. You need to. It's a match. You need to deliver across 100 overs to win. But personally, I'll be scared if Australia is there in the final.
Well, I hope that rain stays away, but if it doesn't stay away, I think for once it might help Australia. It might help South Africa. They've been on the wrong side of the rain calculations for far too long. So maybe luck is on their side, and then they won the Rugby World Cup. So it's
Yeah,
in their stars to potentially, go through the final, and then we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's a great week if you're an Indian cricket fan. Commiserations to New Zealand. The Diwali celebrations are going to continue in India through today, tonight, tomorrow, and hopefully through to Sunday night. And we will have a bank holiday on Monday if all goes well. Well, Pranshu, Purval, Shivam, thank you very much for your time. Congratulations again. And if you are watching us for the first time, do give our videos a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, do subscribe to our channel. And we'll hopefully see you for a post-match review tomorrow for the South Africa-Australia game. Until then, take care. Have a good
have a good
night.
day. All right, have a good day.
Bye.